catch up the lost grounds over the last 4 years, the 9th National Assembly will insist that government appointees execute their mandates conscientiously with high sense of responsibility in the best interest of the country. Speaking to newsmen after joining President Muhammadu Buhari to observe Jumat prayers in the State House Mosque, the Senate President says for next level agenda to achieve its objectives, everyone in government must live up to expectations.
If there is anyone that is deficient, it will cost the system. We are in a hurry. We are thirsty to perform. We want to support Mr. President to the tilt. We want to see Mr. President achieve those legacy dreams that he has. And we are going to work full course and full time to ensure that we give him the maximum support that he requires. And by the grace of God, Nigerians will see a difference, positive difference, in terms of delivery of service to our countrymen and women.
Senator Ahmed Lawal also said the National Assembly is committed to passing appropriation bills in good time for implementation within the 12 calendar months.
Sacrifice in the National Assembly as well as the executive side of government that we create a window for budget defense only, a dedicated period and time frame, say a month, of which only budget defense will be carried out in the National Assembly. And it is our desire in the National Assembly that before we leave for Christmas break, the budget would have been passed and Mr. President would have had the budget before him to sign and assent.
In the next level, we're going to see government at ease. Execution of programs, projects, and every other policies of government with ease, unlike the 8th Assembly. We're very confident. We can see now that the atmosphere is very calm. Everybody is happy that APC got it right this time around. Kudos to the national leadership of our party, and kudos to Mr. President. Kudos to the leadership of the National Assembly, and kudos to all members of the National Assembly, the senators and the reps. I think they've done excellently well.
Still on the legislature, the diplomatic community wants the 9th Senate to serve as a model for other African parliaments by running it in line with best democratic practices. This was at a dinner to honor the new leadership of the Senate, organized by the former governor of Abia State and member of the 9th Senate, Orji Uzor Kalu, in Abuja. Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Having meals together in Africa goes beyond just digging into delicious meals. It is a significant way of bonding and building unity among people. And that is the role this dinner is expected to play for the newly inaugurated Senate. At this dinner, there are no receptionists. The host, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, received his guests himself. It was a night of pleasantries and friendly exchange of teasing remarks. More than 7 foreign ambassadors attended and offered advice to the new leadership of the 9th Senate.
Mr. President, we are all here representing our countries, wanting your best to cultivate the relationship between our countries and the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, did not mince words when he assured of a non-partisan and people-oriented Senate.
The Nigerian project is a project of the Nigerian people. It's not any political party's project.
What is uppermost in their mind is the good of the country, the people who sent you, because we are delegates.
To show my acceptability of the Senate President and Deputy Senate President, I have to have this party for both of them.
This is the first time the senators will be gathering round the dining table since their inauguration. Ignatius Nkwo.
Well, following a meeting of PDP senators with the party's national chairman, Uche Secondos, this Thursday in Abuja, the senator representing Abia South Senatorial District, Senator Eyinaya Baribe, has been named the minority leader of the 9th Senate. The meeting held behind closed doors also had Senator Emmanuel Boacha from Taraba South retaining his position as deputy minority leader. The senator representing FCT, Senator Philip Aduda, also retained his position as the minority whip. And away from that, the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has officially chosen to be addressed as the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the next 4-year term of President Muhammadu Buhari. Mrs. Buhari stated this at the dinner and award night she organized in honor of the wives of immediate past and the incoming state governors of Nigeria. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Within the 4-year tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, his wife Aisha has been playing a remarkable supportive role in complementing his efforts towards improving the lives of Nigerians, especially women, youth, children and other less privileged through her Future Assured program and the Aisha Buhari Foundation. Equally, the wives of the 36 state governors of the Federation have also been supportive to the activities of Mrs. Buhari at the state level through their various pet projects, as well as complementing their husbands and enhancing the lives of their people. This night, therefore, is remarkable to the wives of the governors, particularly the outgoing, as Mrs. Buhari has appreciated their support through the journey in building confidence and restoring hope to women, youth, and children. 12 immediate past governors' wives were awarded by the Nigeria's First Lady, comprising Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Imo, Kwara, and Lagos. Others are Nasarawa, Ogun, Oshun, Oyo, and Zamfara State.
In the last 4 years, many of you have impacted positively in the lives of people in your states and even beyond. Specifically, you have touched lives, your hands have healed the sick and transformed the faces of sadness into doors of smiles. For this, you will be remembered and judged positively by posterity and history.
While urging them to sustain the spirit in serving humanity after leaving office, Mrs. Buhari has also called on the newly elected leadership of both the Northern and the Southern Governors' Wives Forum to be working together for the benefit of Nigerian masses.
I congratulate you for this smooth beginning. Beyond being wives of governors who have public mandates with duty to support, we must also be committed in championing the cause of vulnerable in our society.
Mrs. Buhari also awarded some personalities for their support towards the successful implementation of her laudable programs and activities through the Future Assured and Aisha Buhari Foundation. They include the wife of the Vice President Dolapo Shimbajo, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Household and Special Events Muhammad Sarki Abba, and the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Administration Dr. Hajar Sani.
When my husband was elected newly, I personally choose to be called the wife of the president. And after a while, I realized that it's causing a lot of confusion at the state levels, because many wives of the governors are confused either to use the first lady or to use of the wife of the governors. But for the interest of the 36 wives of the governors, I want to be called the first lady of Nigeria this time.
The governors' wives had earlier met at the First Ladies' Conference Hall to elect their leaders, with the wife of the governor of Niger State, Dr. Amina Sani Bello, emerged as the president of the Northern Governors' Wives Forum, while the Edo State Governors' Wives, Besti Obaseki, emerged as the president Southern Governors' Wives Forum. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
The Supreme Court has sacked David Umaru as a senator representing Niger East Senatorial District at the National Assembly. The court declared Mohammed Sani Musa as the senator-elect for the district, having won the primaries conducted by the All Progressives Congress. Olabode Arewa reports that the seat is one of the pre-election cases decided by the Apex Court this Friday.
In an unanimous decision delivered by Justice Olukayode Ariwola, the Supreme Court five-man panel, headed by the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, held that the Court of Appeal decided in error by failing to take cognizance of the fact that the 14-day deadline required by law for candidates to challenge the outcome of party's primary election commenced from the actual date that the political party submits the name of its candidate to INEC. The Supreme Court subsequently declared Sani Musa as the actual candidate of the APC for the senatorial district and not the incumbent Senator David Umaru. The court thereby directed INEC to issue certificate of return to the appellant as the senator-elect.
The appellant Mohammed Sani Musa 313, that he actually won the primaries and is entitled to represent the Niger East.
In a related development, the Apex Court has affirmed the election of Zayad Ibrahim as a legislator representing Igabe Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Zayad Ibrahim filed a suit pleading with the court that the APC unjustly substituted his name with that of Muhammad Abubakar, having won the primary election held on the 8th of October 2018.
The Supreme Court has agreed that he was wrongly substituted and his name has been restored.
The Apex Court, in its judgment, equally directed INEC to issue a certificate of return to Zayad Ibrahim. In Abuja, Olabo Derewa, NTA News.
The largest television network, the Nigerian Television Authority, is committed to ensuring that Nigerians are provided the opportunity to view the matches in the comfort of their homes and viewing centers as the Africa Cup of Nations tournament kicks off in Egypt on the 21st of June. Gufan Shaji reports that the Director General of the NTA visited the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to hold talks on how best to bring the sporting event to Nigerians.
As a unifying factor in Nigeria, football always makes Nigerians to forget ethnicity, religion and other differences. These sports enthusiasts, whom are heading the affairs of the Nigerian Television Authority and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, are holding talks to use it to further integrate the nation. NTA wants to beam such tournaments to every Nigerian home, but cannot achieve it alone, and so seeks the support of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund.
It's a credit to this administration that for the first time in 6 years, Nigeria has qualified to participate in this continental tournament. And we think every Nigerian has a right to watch the national team in action.
In the common journey to get this country rise from whatever level we are to higher leadership level at the global stage, I'll be glad to do so.
A blueprint of NTA's expectations of the TET Fund was presented during the meeting in Abuja. Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
Let's take a break now on NTA International News. The news continues after.
One football confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hot Sports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Nigeria's premier sports production and marketing group, Hot Sports, partners with the biggest, the largest and the #1 television network in Africa, the NTA, to give Nigerians a memorable viewing experience. Boost fan support for the Super Eagles to glory in Egypt. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
NTA International News. Africa as it is.
The news continues now. Concerted efforts by governments across the globe have over time targeted better healthcare delivery. In line with this, Nigerians are being urged to cultivate the habit of donating blood regularly to aid in the reduction of avoidable deaths. Well, this was the strong view of medical experts at a media briefing in Abuja in commemoration of World Blood Donors Day. Elizabeth Omori tells us more.
Crucial bits from their heart. No one wants to see these meter waves fail. Heartbeats can stop due to several factors, one of which is shortage of blood. This is Nathan, a lawyer. He's 38 and he has been donating blood for 14 years free of charge.
The motive of this is hope and faith. Hope in the sense that the person that is receiving the blood, that is the recipient of my blood, and me too, I'm giving the person another hope and faith that as long as the blood is transfused, that he or she will be able to have another life to live.
As the world marks World Blood Donor Day, awareness is being created on the importance of blood donation and blood products to saving lives, as this is a critical component of the universal health coverage.
MBTS is set to migrate its blood screening platform from a semi-automated system to a fully automated system at its center in Abuja and Jos.
Considering this year's theme, Safe Blood for All, blood donation, according to medical experts, remain an important key to improving health, blood production, and reducing risk of cancer.
Public education of our secondary school students is being vigorously pursued through its secondary school blood safety program, which seeks to encourage the culture of voluntary blood donation from an early stage.
As an integral part of modern medical practice, blood from donors helps save the lives of pregnant women, newborn, accident victims, surgical and anemic patients. Concerned parties are advocating more blood donations to make it affordable and available, as well as the establishment of more screening centers. So, why not donate today? Who knows, you might indirectly be saving your life. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Czech Republic has expressed desire to provide on-demand needed soft and hardwares to the Nigerian army to fast-track and sustain ongoing internal security. This was highlighted by the ambassador to Nigeria while on a courtesy call to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Apart from the 10 years counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast, Nigerian military is involved in different internal security operations in all the states. This has overstretched the stock of the Nigerian army, compounding the past challenges in procurement of military equipment.
I'm sure of it. Very professional work in providing what you need.
The Czech Republic is willing to trade arms to Nigeria, a pronouncement that will support ongoing development of military-industrial complex.
Be it in procurement area, in training.
By and large, we will continue to get our immediate defense requirements to be able to prosecute, the conflict that's going on in the Northeast and other parts of the country.
The army headquarters also played host to the Osun State Governor, Adeniyiga Oyetola, who is seeking joint security operation in his state to curb the wave of armed robbery and kidnappings. From the Nigerian Army headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
To agricultural matters now, importation of palm oil in Nigeria is now illegal. Consequently, the Central Bank of Nigeria has the mandate to freeze accounts of any firm or individual found guilty of smuggling the product. This is coming from the federal government as the Central Bank of Nigeria sets aside 30 billion naira to boost production and processing of palm kernel. Musa Baba Aliu has details.
Nigeria presently boasts of more than 20 million oil palm trees in more than 20 states of the federation. Some of the trees, even though old, still produce substantial amount of fruits, good enough for production of palm oil for local consumption and export. In spite of this, the country spends billions of dollars importing palm oil annually. This meeting, holding in the office of the Central Bank of Nigeria, is a convergence of stakeholders in palm oil business in Nigeria, from cultivation to processing.
While we are stopping the importation of palm oil,
Head of Nigeria's Apex Bank, Godwin Emefiele, with the big stick on the stance of government.
Our Economic Intelligence Department has started investigating the accounts of some of you, or those of you, who are involved in smuggling or dumping palm oil into Nigeria.
A long-term loan facility including seedlings and other input will be available to further boost palm oil production.
The government is working out a program on how to acquire land, how to survey the land, how we issue the titles on an accelerated basis.
This program now will give Nigeria another face if it is well implemented.
But we believe that if the CBN governor or the government is serious about banning the importation, it will jumpstart a lot of development and improvement in the oil palm sector.
This is laudable. If you see from the rice experience we had, from other value chains, it shows that CBN is serious about this.
The Apex Bank says measures taken are not targeted at individuals or particular groups of people, but efforts towards strengthening the country's economy. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And it's time now for some business news with Olayinka Oju.
Welcome to Business News. The federal government may relax the ban on importation of vehicles through the land border. The government in January 2017 ordered a ban on importation of vehicles through the land borders. The restriction on the importation of vehicles followed that of rice, whose import through the land borders has been banned since April 2016. But the government may reconsider its decision after the successful implementation of the new initiative by the Nigerian Customs Service and that of Republic of Benin to automate and network all electronic information about incoming cargoes around the borders. And from Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, comes a new call on the leadership of the continent's economies to pursue regional integration as a way to foster economic benefits that would lead to growth and development. President of African Development Bank, Akiwumi Adesina, was speaking at the ongoing 2019 African Development Bank annual meeting. He says there is urgent need to fast-track the continent's regional integration process to accelerate Africa's economic transformation, and this must start with the elimination of non-tariff barriers. And that's it on this segment of the news. I am Olayinka Ojo.
And for some global headline stories, let's join Joyce Ometu.
Authorities in Uganda are planning to start an Ebola vaccination campaign in the western district of Kasasi, which recorded 2 deaths from the virus earlier this week. Health workers and people who came into contact with those who had Ebola will get the injection. Meanwhile, the European Union has released $3.9 million to Uganda and South Sudan in emergency funding to help prevent the spread of Ebola. And from Mali comes a report that the country's president, Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, says his government will disarm all those who illegally possess weapons and punish anybody who refuses to comply. He made the pledge on a visit to the site of the Sobende massacre, where 35 people were killed on Monday. A similar pledge was made by Mali's government in March, but they have struggled to disarm militias. In the meantime, women across Switzerland are demonstrating against what they say is the country's unacceptable slow pace to equality. The protest comes 28 years after similar action saw 500,000 women take to the streets in 1991. Swiss women have long campaigned to accelerate the pace of gender equality. Thanks for staying tuned. I am Joyce Ometu.
Well, what would the weather be like in Abuja tomorrow? Our weather forecast has details of this and other cities. And that's it on the news at 7 on NTA International. I am Ogwa Vivian Inyidibia. Thank you for watching.